Hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Baums with me, your host, Corey Baumeister, as always with the lovely folks here at TCGplayer.com. So today we are playing Blue-Red Phoenix. This is the list. It's a couple cards off, but it is basically the list that Eli Cassis just won GP Oakland with. A phenomenal player, good friend of mine, all around just great Magic player, excuse me. He absolutely destroyed this tournament. He said he lost something like 7 games all weekend. Just a phenomenal showing by him. We played 3 rounds here. We played against Dredge, Death Shadow, and Bant Spirit. So we got a little variety of basically what Modern is about to be. I know that is not the only 3 decks because Modern is so huge, but those are some of the 3 popular decks here. I'm not going to spoil how we did. Tune in to check those out. Of course, I have the speed links below if you want to fast forward to any of the rounds. Maybe fast forward to the deck tech first before you watch the match to get a little basis of the deck. I promise I didn't spoil anything in the deck tech, so feel free to do that. Also have the link to TCGplayer.com's article where I have a small sideboard guide. Modern's so big it's impossible to include everything. So I have a short sideboard guide including a short write-up there that you can check out. And I hope you enjoy the games. And welcome to the games, everybody. Alright, I've been hyped to play this deck since I saw Eli just absolutely crush this Grand Prix last weekend. So let's get it going. We definitely want to go first. Seems fine. Nothing insanely special, but let's say we were to find some Arclight Phoenixes on turn 2, we could go Thought Scour, Bolt, Gut Shot, yeah, Attack. So the deck just has some monster draws. So we'll just pass for here. Alright. What do we got here? Burn, Grixis Death Shadow, maybe Valakut. Ooh, Dredge. Okay, okay. Not sure how this matchup's supposed to go, but we're going to find out. So we should not Thought Scour them. Got it. Alright, pay 2. Thought Scour ourselves right away. Oh my god, we hit. This deck is going to just treat us so well. So very well. Okay. So, I think we'll start with a Thought Scour. Try to get more Phoenixes. Still just the 1. I think we want to faithlessly loot just another chance to hit. You just get to see an extra card to hit another Phoenix here. I think that is worth it. Alright, we'll faithlessly loot. Ooh, this deck is treating us so well. I think we're supposed to probably just get rid of the land. Yeah, we'll get rid of the land. Gut shot our opponent. Take 2. And here they come. You know them, we love them. And our opponent's dead on turn 3. Our opponent is just straight dead next turn. 6. Yep. Wow, this deck is powerful. And our opponent, of course, can have, like, Life of the Lone, or I mean, Narcomoebas, something like that. But, yeah, this just double Shriekhorn is not really going to do it here. And there's another one, just for good measure. We'll get on in there. This game will be over. Wow. Okay, just kidding. Just kidding. Wow, okay, our opponent's doing it as well. Alright. That is a lot of Narcomoebas. I think we're just okay with that dying. It's just gonna come back. Could just get Thing in the Garbage down. Or we could Bolt. Doesn't seem as effective to me. I think we're just always okay with Phoenixes going to the yard. We'll just play Thing in the Garbage, as our test team would always call it. It's just fun to say. The card's good. Alright, Thing in the Ice hits the board. Our opponent just had to naturally draw. I guess didn't have to, but... Conflagrates just to put it in the yard. Okay, now we got... Now we're for sure bringing back another Arclight plus Bolt, Bolt. I mean, it just doesn't matter, but I suppose we'll go like this. Bolt this. Bolt our opponent. And attack for 6. Yeah, I guess our opponent could have hit a, or can still hit an Archamoeba. No such luck. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Alrighty. So, I think we want to... Anger the Gods has got to be good. Surgical Extraction has to be good. Anything graveyard based. Blood Moon might even be good. Yeah, Blood Moon could be good. I don't think Gut Shot's very good. We want to keep... I think it's like a rule of thumb. I was talking to Ely a little bit about the deck. And it's basically a rule of thumb that you always want to have at least 2 Phyrexian mana things. At least. Flame Slash seems quite bad. Thing in the Ice seems pretty good. I mean, oh yeah, it seems insane. Returning all prized Amalagons and stuff like that. Young Pyromancer just seems okay. Blood Moon really does seem actually pretty decent. We could just cut the Young Pyros and just bring in Blood Moon, Anger the Gods, and try to win off that. I kind of like this. What else? What kind of hate would they have against us? Can't really have any graveyard hate. Yeah, I mean, I think this is what we're going to run. Let's give it a shot. This deck is fun. I'm already hyped. Okay. God, just Faithless Looting is just so very busted. People say Ancient Stirring is one of the best one-drops, but I don't know. I mean, Faithless Looting is really the red brainstorm. So this hand is great. We can go and just kind of dirtle around until we anger and then start, you know, kind of going off, which seems great. All right, we're going to take 2, Faithlessly loot. And that's a lot of Faithless Lootings now. Kind of want to keep Izzet Charm. And I kind of want all the lands. This is a tough one. Definitely not Crackling Drake because it's our win con. I think for sure 1 Faithless Looting. And probably the island. Realistically. Yeah, I think we'll go like that. Alright. No Dredger for our opponent right away is always good news for us. Maybe a Life of the Loam here would be a decent play from the Aluminum Monster. Yep, looks to be the case. Oh, just conflagrated to get Golgari Thug into the yard. Can respect it. Not the bestest of plays, but... I think I probably just want to Thought Scour. Like, Izzet Charm seems okay right now, but I think I just want to Thought Scour and Serum Visions. But I always want to Thought Scour first, because if you Serum Visions and then Thought Scour, the cards you want to leave on top are obviously in the graveyard then. There's no spell that I really want to counter next turn that I can think of. So yeah, we'll start with a Thought Scour. Looking for Phoenixes. No such luck. Yeah, we'll just do a Visions now. Okay, Arclight. We're going to keep that on top. And I think Sleight of Hand is fine too. Because then we might have a chance of bringing this back if need be next turn. Yeah. So we'll go top. And then we will say go. Now, you know, in hindsight, I think it would have worked better to Serum Visions, just because a Phoenix would be in our yard, but that's it's pretty tough to tell. So yeah, if our opponent does find a way to get these prized amalgams back, we just get to absolutely wreck them. Golgari Thug. Coming in. Alright, so we know Sleight of Hand is on top. So we can start with Faithless Looting. I really want our opponent to put in these prized amalgams first. So you know what? We're just going to go Breeding Pool go. And then we're going to Izzet Charm at end step. And then we can Crackling Drape and then Anger the Gods. Or if our opponent starts going off here, which it looks like they probably will. With, oh, our opponent did have Ley Lines. Interesting. Yeah, I suppose they have to. So no land would mean that they would not be able to bring back Bloodghast. We'll take it. Stinky. Okay, and now we will just Izzet Charm. Draw 2, discard 2. 1, and I would say we don't want to land. Okay, now we're going to have a Crackling Drake turn. Ooh, Crackling Drake's best friend. Another Crackling Drake. Alright, God, these Drakes are just bigger than you ever see in Standard. This is exciting. Okay, our opponent can Conflagrate there. And Creeping Chill's pretty good. Look at all those Ley Lines in the yard. So Life Alone was dredged. So Bloodghast and all these creatures can come back. On top of being able to Conflagrate, excuse me. So yeah, if this works out the way I think it will, we can just have one hell of a good Anger the Gods turn. Nope, no blocks there. Wait for all these creatures to come back. And then it is time to Anger all the Gods. And we get to bring back Arclight Phoenix this turn, excuse me. So I think it's best to Thought Scour first. Okay. We'll take 2. Maybe we only have to take 1 here. I think we'll Faithless Looting. Discard Wooded Foothills here. And Steam Vents. Then we will cast Anger of the Gods. Boom. Then we're going to get back Arclight, and we're 1 short of lethal. Oh, maybe I messed that up. I don't think so. Yeah, that's a pretty good turn. Pretty good turn right there, if I say so myself. This deck is busted. It's absolutely busted. Our opponent just has to hit a bunch of Creeping Chills, or... Conflagrate can kill Crackling Drake, but Arclight Phoenix still gets there. It's going to be a tough one. Okay. Got a Bloodghast into the yard, so our opponent could go. Yeah, there's not much Dredge can do there. I kind of thought this would be a lot harder matchup, but they can't really interact with Crackling Drake too well, and... if you can't do that, it only takes like 1 swing and they're dead. So stay tuned for round. All right, round 2 coming at you. After we absolutely destroyed Dredge, let's try to keep it going. This hand's great. Faithless Looting's in the hand. It's perfect. It's kind of a bit of a exaggerated statement, but it's kind of true. The card's just messed up. Fixes so many problems. It would be good enough if it didn't have flashback. All right, maybe not, but close. I think we just want to start with Serum Visions here. I'm guessing we're Grixis Death Shadow here. Not sure how that matchup's supposed to be, but we're going to find out. Serum Visions. Don't want either of those. Bottom, bottom. We just get to play all the great one-drops. Alright, I think we'll play Thing in the Garbage after this. Alrighty. Death Chateau. Death Chateau. Alright. Just looking at some of my sideboard notes having to do with this. Okay. So, I mean, dismember, stuff like that can definitely happen here on our Thing in the Ice, but it's always best to get this card down before you start going nuts on spells. That way it's at least good if it works. But yeah, Fatal Push, stuff like that. Gonna make that card not that great, to be honest. I think Young Pyromancer is going to be excellent against Grixis Death Shadow, though. Alright, so next turn we'll be able to draw some cards and stuff. And then Crackling Drake the turn after. Ideally, it would be nice to get some Arclights in play. Okay. Angler. With a blue open, so likely has Stubborn Denial. Which is definitely a good card. We're going to start with a Serum Visions. Don't really want this for sure. Suppose Manamorphose is fine. Yeah, Manamorphose is fine. We'll try a, you know, think we will cast Serum Visions here. Gut Shot I don't like right now. I think Serum Visions is okay again. And then we're going to try to Faithless Looting. Probably getting Stubborn Denialed. I think I would do that if I was the Grixis Death Shadow player, because we could have two Arclights in hand. We don't. So this was kind of bait because we didn't really care about that. Next turn being able to make a gigantic Crackling Drake seems pretty reasonable. Maybe try to bolt that away is pretty good as well. So we know we have Serum Visions. So now it's a toughie. So I want to get rid of Grixis Death Shadow, and I would also love to play Crackling Drake. So I can go Manamorphose and Crackling Drake. And it's pretty hard to Fatal Push. I mean, if our opponent draws another Sackland, I mean, that's great and all. But yeah, we're going to start with Manamorphose. And we're going to need blue-red. Wow, okay. Yeah, I think it's just Crackling Drake. Probably just blocking. Probably just blocking the Angler here. And we don't want to see Sackland and Fatal Push on that. That would be very bad. And, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of draws that just kill us right now. Maybe we should have been a little bit more aggressive, or a little bit more defensive and went like double bolt on the Angler. Interesting. Our opponent's giving us the chance to block Death Shadow. Yeah, I think we just want to absorb damage for now. We can try to bolt that Death Shadow after this. Okay, cycle Street Wraith after damage. That seems silly. Okay, so we can double bolt this Death Shadow. If our opponent has another Street Wraith, then that's impressive, but... Okay, so we can Faithless Looting and double bolt to get back this. Now let's see. I know we have a couple islands in the deck. We don't want to take too much damage. So I think we should still start with double bolt just to make sure. Okay. Now we will faithlessly loot, since we know we have an Arclight to come into play. Discard this, and then bring it on back. Hiya! Oh, this deck is fun. This deck is fun. Oh, I forgot how low of a life total they're playing Death Shadow. They're dead. They're dead. Alright. Bolt. Yep. Bolting Phoenixes is usually not the way to get it done. We need any spell. Any spell. Yes. And Manamorphose into a bolt seems fine to me. We'll go red, red. We will first Gut Shot. Then bolt. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Alright, so cards we want against Grixis Death Chateau. Explosives. I think Blood Moon is pretty good. Threads. Thread seems awesome. Young Pyro is great. Let's keep that. Kind of thinking we don't want Thing in the Garbage at all. Yep. I think we're going to get rid of that. Now, hitting Gut Shot is absolutely worthless. Extraction can get Snapcaster targets and Kolaghan Command targets, so I think we'll still keep that. Rule of thumb with this deck, you always want to have at least 2 Phyrexian mana cards in play. Yeah. Now, do we want another Blood Moon? Or like Anger? Because I don't really like Flame Slash that much. Maybe this is just fine. 2 Blood Moons seem okay. Maybe we'll get out 1. It's a lot of 3s. But we got rid of Thing in the Ice. Yeah, I think we'll try this. God, this deck is so much fun. I love Modern again. I will be playing this deck for quite a while, I think. Okay, this sounds great. We have the best card in Modern, so I will keep. Unless you control 2 or fewer lands. Okay, so this is the fast one. I always get those mixed up with the standard legal one. So this is always the best one to play first. Alright. Ooh. Almost just want a Faithless Loot right away. Maybe not. We'll start with the Serum Visions, because I don't want it to get... ooh, okay, next turn we get to Arclight then with Manamorphose. I think we're just going to keep both of these. Well, we're going to have to use a sack land, so this one has no point in staying on top anyways. So, we'll bottom that, top this, pass it. Now we start with Manamorphose, and then we go Faithless Looting, and then draw a spell, and we get an Arclight back next turn. Whoa. No play, huh? Now, I think we're content with a... Yeah, we're going to get the Steam Vent. We have nothing... Well, we do have Blood Moon here, so I think we should actually get Island. Start with Island. We got a lot of blue spells anyways. So we'll start with the Manamorphose. This might easily get countered. Okay, it did not. Red, blue. We will... Ooh, that's a pretty good one too. We'll start with Faithless Looting. Discard Arclight for show. And probably one of these sleight of hands. We're a little redundant on that aspect. So yeah, we'll get rid of a sleight of hand, and we'll cast Serum Visions. I like both those. Do we need another Threads? Maybe not need. Do we want another one? Maybe. Our opponent's not doing much here. I think we're going to bottom that one. I think we'll bottom that one. And we'll top the Is It Charm. Not positive on that, but alright, then get on in there. Next turn we can go Young Pyro with Sleight of Hand, though. That's a pretty good turn 3. Oh, that ain't cool. That ain't cool at all. Well, that gets rid of our Is It Charm on top as well. Yep, it's going to make this game a lot harder. Alright, alright. Gotta love it. Opponent's still stuck on land, though, so it's not as bad. Might try to get our sleight of hand here. Our opponent's tanking here. Gets Faithless Looting. Okay. It's pretty good as well. Now that we don't have as much graveyard stuff, it's not that bad. And that does boost our Crackling Drakes to new heights. Yep, we will go Young Pyro. Sleight of Hand. Metamorphose will keep. Oh, dang it. I was going to Scry. Huh. Did not mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. I definitely wanted that Metamorphose. That was pretty bad. Pretty bad. Yeah, that was super bad. Yeah, yeah. Wow, really? Takes the Threads. We have a Crackling Drake. Maybe it's just best to do spells for now. Is our opponent trying to Wrath in some way? What does this deck play for Wrath of Gods? I need a refresher course. Whoops. Doesn't look like it. How is our opponent expecting to beat? I mean, I guess you can just dismember Crackling Drake, but something that just has to be dealt with now. So I think we're going to thin the deck a little bit. We're just going to get an island. Crackle, crackle. Get on in there. Yeah, that would have been a much better turn to go Metamorphose, have an extra token. Yeah, that was just a misclick on my part, everybody. But didn't matter because our deck is absolutely broken. Stay tuned for our third round. And back for our third and final round. Well, I started looking at my hand. I'm like, one lander. This Young Pyromancer, a couple bolts, removal. Only one land, Thing in the Ice. Oh, Faithless Looting. We're good. Don't worry about it. Faithless Looting is here. Have no fear. We're definitely keeping. If this didn't exist, it's definitely a mulligan, but we got a great 2-drop. Either one will be better in certain situations. Okay, okay. So, kind of just want to kill that right away. It's pretty annoying. We could just Flame Slash it right now. Yeah, that seems good. That card's just, it's a pain. We can Faithless Looting next turn. Find some lands. Bant Spirits is the deck. Okay, well, what does Bant Spirits do to a Thing in the Ice? Or a Young Pyromancer at that? Which one is better? Bouncing spirits that can be cast at flash speed doesn't seem insane, but we can like basically flip it next turn. So I think we'll start with Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Garbage, excuse me. See if our opponent wants to path it right away to give us that immediate value. Now, our opponent could just have a Reflector Mage here, and then it's not that great of a play. But if they don't, stuff's going down. It's not too hard to cast 4 spells next turn. Okay, it's going to start with Manamorphose. All we need is a land. That's so crazy. Okay, well, definitely start with Manamorphose. And now, I think we go... I think it's red-red. No, red-blue. Red-blue. We'll start with Sleight of Hand. Now we're looking for a land. Or a Gut Shot. That would do it as well. Okay, so we got this. So put one of them into your hand. I want this. I would like to Faithlessly Loot. Draw some cards. Kinda just want to discard Young Pyro. And just try to do the Thing in the Ice thing again. Young Pyro and a Lightning Bolt seems good. Yeah, Young Pyro, Lightning Bolt. And then we will cast Serum Visions. Flip the Thing. Don't want Gut Shot. Don't want Mountain. And then get on in there. Take 7. Oh, Thing in the garbage. You're not garbage. Then we got another one coming next turn. Reflector Mage, maybe. Coco. Could be even much worse. There's one. Okay. Definitely good cards. So I believe I can still play Thing in the Ice this turn. Yep. Okay, that's good. So I think we'll start with... Oh, this enters the battlefield tapped, though, so I gotta remember that. Tapped. We'll Lightning Bolt this. Just because 2 of those gets very out of control. Get a counter off Thing. Say go. Now we know our opponent has a Geist. But once again, we can just flip next turn. So we know our opponent has Geist and 2 other cards. Okay, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Now I really wish we had that Young Pyromancer. Not the greatest of plays on my part, I don't think. So I think we have to start with Faithless Looting here. I think we can discard one thing. One thing. Lightning Bolt is... Or Izzet Charm's not very good. So I think we'll go Thing, Izzet Charm. Now... I think we should start with Faithless Looting. No, I'll take that back. Let's start with Sleight of Hand. Put one into your hand. What if I don't want either? Guess I'd rather have Breeding Pool, so I have the basic. Now we'll get this. And now we will probably Faithless Loot here. Yeah, we really want to find an Arclight. No such luck. Now I really want Lightning Bolt to deal with Reflector Mage. So I think with that being the case, I have to get rid of Faithless Looting. This deck's hard. This deck's hard because we're taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Taking 10. Metamorphose, I think, is the most important. So it has to be this. Okay. No Arclights on the top 30 cards. That's a little unfortunate. We just wanted one to play defense here. What do we got here? Yep. That's pretty good. We knew that was in our opponent's hand. Are we dead? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope. Okay. Then I think we should be okay here if we can flip thing. That should allow it. Okay. So, thing to start. Then we're going to Metamorphose. And I guess we have to hit a spell. I think we have to, yep. We'll go red, red. Red, red. I don't think that's going to do it. I think we're dead. You're too late! You're too late! So I could kill this. I could kill this. It's not going to be enough. I guess Faithless Looting. Discarding this. That's only 2 spells. I could get Gut Shot. Well, let's try it. Let's see what we get. But I think we're dead. I didn't think we were going to lose this game. I think I made a mistake by not discarding Pyromancer there. That second Reflector Mage really got me. Oh. Well, we can kill ourselves very quickly. That would have been pretty cute. Alright. Next game. Bant Spirits. Alright, what do we got for Bant Spirits? They're probably bringing in Rest in Peace. So we want to kind of transition. Anger of the God seems quite good. Not very good. Not very good. Would we anticipate that they're going to be bringing in Dampening Spheres? I haven't seen a list of this in a while. One tool that I use, if you ever see me looking off screen, I always look at MTG Goldfish and kind of look at like just a Bant Spirits list. You really see like what sideboard cards they decide to bring in, and it really just helps out. It really helps out just kind of thinking where you should be at. Now, Engineered Explosives could be pretty decent. Gutshot still seems pretty good against them. Yeah, it looks like not too many Dampening Spheres. It's definitely going to be more Rest in Peace. Premium white cards. Premium white sideboard cards is what makes Bant Spirits so good. Flame Slash, I think, is the weakest removal spell. Is it Charm? Is okay, actually. I kind of like it against, like, Collected Companies. One cut. One cut, one cut. Hate to do like a blue cantrip, but I kind of want to do a blue cantrip. I think we'll take out EE. It's just a little too slow. Little too slow. We'll run it. Not much sideboarding, but that's okay. We would like to go first. Well, we got Faithless Looting. You all know what that means. Our hand's unbeatable. I would like to keep. I think we're going to start with a Thought Scour. So we're just going to go Wooded Foothills, say go. We just want to find as many Arclights as possible and maybe get some turn 2 in there. It's definitely not easy. Okay, so killing Noble Hierarch I think is a bigger priority. Letting that deck ramp is just not nice. We're going to feel silly if we draw Gut Shot. I think we'll start with a Thought Scour. So, Canal first. I think we'll do a Supreme or a Serum Visions here. If we get Rest in Peace, it's just going to be bad regardless. So we might as well try to set up for something that would be decent against Rest in Peace. We're going to put this at the bottom, and we'll take this. We have way too many lands right now, but luckily we got Faithless Looting to save the day. All right, no Rest in Peace. Well, that's a green, so that's good. That card's good. That card is good. All right, well, I think we'll start with Faithless Looting. Hope for a Gut Shot. Jeez, all the lands. Get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of Island. Get a Scolding Tarn just to sacrifice it. Get a land into play, thin out our deck a little bit. Next turn, we're more than likely just casting another Faithless Looting for 4 mana. Just to try to set up a decent turn here. We're just getting flooded. Oh, our opponent's not doing much. Alright, now we have no use for green here, so we'll just get the Steam Vents. Well, it does deal 2 damage to this, so that actually I think is worth it. Cost 3. Well, it's keeping our opponent from playing Rest in Peace in case they actually have it. So we're just going to say go. And then at their end step, we can Izzet Charm it and then Thought Scour us. And then hopefully set something up for next turn to have a decent turn after that. So we actually are going to take the 2 because for 2 reasons. They could play Rest in Peace if we kill it now. Or they could just play a redundant Thalia. And we'd want neither of those. Okay, our opponent's got a very weird draw. Blue, red, anything. 2 damage. Then we're going to Thought Scour ourselves. Nothing so far. We're not very good at getting Arclights here in the top percentage of our decks. We'll start with Sleight of Hand. There's 1. Now this is good because we can get this into the yard now. So we're going to take this. And we are going to Faithlessly Loot. Discarding Arclight and Mountain. And then we will cast a Serum Visions. Draw. A lot of good blue cards here. I think there's no real reason to... So I want to put this on top. And then this. Yep. Okay, we'll attack here. Hiya! Now, no Collected Company. Rest in Peace would still be annoying. But we don't really care about Thalia anymore since now we have the Bolt. Our opponent has a very weird draw. Okay. Now we know our top card. And I don't know if we really want to draw it. But maybe we do. So we'll Slight. We'll take the Visions. We're going to Thought Scour ourselves. Okay, there's an Arclight. So we will Faithlessly Loot. I think we're past the Anger of the Gods point. Also, the Gut Shot is not that great. I think we'll cast a Serum Visions. Put this on the bottom, this on top. And that's enough spells for this turn. Attack for 6. Now we got a Bolt. Got some basics left. Almost should have just lightning bolted our creature there, actually. If our opponent would have did that again, we definitely would have. Okay, so that's a Collected Company, almost for sure. Otherwise, what does our opponent have, you know? Okay. So we'll start with Sleight of Hand. Take the Lightning Bolt. I think we'll flash back a Faithless Looting right now. Might as well use all our graveyard stuff. Our opponent might collect a company in response here, because if they... well, no, I guess if they Spellqualler this and we kill it, then we just get a Faithless Looting back in the graveyard and get to cast it. Pretty sure that's how that works. We got 9 damage here. Opponent's in the tank here, probably wondering that same interaction. Like if Spellqualler were to come off Collected Company and take Faithless Looting if it's flashback, where does it go if it comes back? And I'm 99% sure it just goes back to the graveyard after I get the ability. So it would be a net positive for me if our opponent did Spellqualler this. Come on, Dr. Cheese. For sure this. I kind of just think another Faithless Looting. So we have 2 Arclights left in our deck. But I guess we can do that next turn. So we're going to do this. We're going to head to combat. See what kind of Collected Company nonsense our opponent has to say. Get on in there. We're pretty content with them trading any kind of creature for this. Okay. That is a-okay with me. So that'll be coming back. We'll say go. More than likely do the same thing at end step. Kill this. We'll take the 2 again. If our opponent just says go, though, then we probably don't even kill it, because our opponent would clearly have Collected Company. Maybe we just bolt them. Noble Hierarch. Alright, now we'll bolt one of these just to make it easier for us next turn. Opponent could have another path. I think they need it. Okay, that's great. Now we'll start with Metamorphose. We'll get blue-red. Ooh. I kind of don't want that to flip yet. So that's Metamorphose. I could get it in there. Okay, all right, we got it. We're going to play this. We are going to Faithlessly Loot. Remove a counter. Don't think... Oh, for sure Arclight. I don't think I want Anger the Gods. And we can't kill our opponent this turn. Can't kill our opponent this turn, so we're just going to bolt this Noble to constrain our opponent on mana. Then we'll attack for 6. Hiya! And now we got Thing and Phoenixes going off next turn. This should be good. This deck is so fun to play. Our opponent did have mana problems the whole time here, so... But, I mean, we had plenty of turns where we were reacting to them, so I think it's okay. On the draw, maybe we just want all removal to deal with Noble Hierarchs. But what to cut? What to cut? What to cut? Yeah, it's still probably just Flame Slash. Maybe I just have a... Maybe I hate on that card a little bit too much, but yeah, I just don't think it's great. Young Pyromancer also might not be that great, but I want to diversify threats just in case our opponent does Rest in Peace us, because there's not much we can do about that. I mean, EE probably does help that a little bit, so maybe I should be keeping that in. I like the one Is It Charm, because whenever we draw it, it like can have the... It's like our only way to counter Collected Company. So maybe we'll get rid of one Thought Scour just because it's the worst card if our graveyard gets removed. Then it's just a cantrip, essentially. Okay, this hand is great. We're going to play one of our powerful 2-drops on 2. Sleight of Hand on 1. Hate that card. All right, there we go. Get a Steam Vent in here. If only this was Faithless Looting, our hand would be unbeatable. Kind of want one land, but maybe I like being greedy. Oh wait, I have to pick one anyways, yeah. Actually picked the wrong one again there, so I wanted to pick the other land. This Sleight of Hand Serum Vision thing I gotta get used to. That's a tricky one. Okay, Selfless Spirit. I think we'll get Thing down. Try to threaten flipping that next turn. I don't think we can actually, but we'll see. Opponent's got a good start. Now something like a Reflector Mage would be pretty good. Yep. Okay. Maybe this is just a turn where I go Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Ice and Serum Visions and really set up for a turn next turn. Our opponent could have Spellqualler as well, which is obviously bad. But I still think it's probably best to play Thing here. Well, we want to just get a basic land because we don't want to take much pain. So our opponent thinking about pathing in response here. I think we'd be okay with that. All right, we'll start by trying a Thing. Then we will just do Serum Visions, remove a couple counters. Not the most of exciting turns. Ooh, okay. Anger's great right now. We're going to bottom the Sulfur Falls and top the Anger. I mean, it's good. It's not great, I should say. So we can flip with this card. Manamorphose into Anger into Lightning Bolt. So I think we'll keep it just for that. But we're definitely afraid of some stuff, that's for sure. But that would be 14 power coming in. Ooh, wow, no play there at the end. That's huge for us. Now, Collected Company, obviously terrifying, but no Spell Queller to try to hit anything. That's interesting. Okay. Very interesting. I'm going to start with the Manamorphose. We'll go red, red. Ooh. That's pretty spicy. We could go Anger here. And then Gut Shot this if our opponent tries to Selfless Spirit to save it. But then could flash in any instant, and that would not work out too well for us. I think we probably should take 2 here first. All right, we will Anger. It's an interesting board situation, I have to say. Indestructible. I think we aim a Gut Shot at this in response. Sacrifices it. Would I like to pay 1? No. Okay, so we do just have lethal now. I didn't even really realize that. So I was going to say we die to a Geist, but we can just kill our opponent. Path. Yeah, that's good. Use this ability. Could have 2 of them. All right, at least 1 connected here. Now, no Geist. Yay! Our opponent's mana base definitely hurts him. That's okay. Now, A Young Pyro. I think it's fine to just go Young Pyro, Lightning Bolt. Yeah, it might have been better to Phoenix. Young Pyro, Young Pyro. Then we're going to attack. See if our opponent wants to block. If they do not, they are facing death. And I think we'll just bolt an upkeep here. Nah, we'll wait. We'll blink. We'll wait for them to do something. Forcing them to act first here, I think, is ideal. And we might not have to even cast it. Yeah, I think we'll cast it here, though. Collected Company takes 2 damage for them to do. It would have to be one heck of a Collected Company now that these soldiers can attack as well. Or elementals. I think this is only game 2, right? I could be wrong. No, I don't know. We're gonna find out. Here comes the company. Right on time. We just have so very many threats to answer now. You gotta deal with the 7-8. And if you can manage to do that, we have 4 creatures. Okay, that was game 3. That's right, we had the Arclight game where we just played it slow and steady and went through. Well, everybody, I think this deck's busted. Eli Cassis just won the GP with it. I love and respect that dude. He's one of my good friends, and he's also just a phenomenal Magic player that I really hold in high regard. So when I saw that he crushed it with this deck, I was like, okay, well, it has to be real, so I have to give this a shot. And you know what? It's good. I think I'm going to be playing this for a while. It's just so fun. It's so good. His changes are great. I never liked Swift Spirit. Just, you're not trying to kill fast. You're killing with inevitability, and you're killing, like, sure, you can kill fast, but mostly it's inevitability, and Swift Spirit just never really fit it for me, so I don't know. I'm a fan. Are you? Stay tuned for the deck tech, everybody. And welcome to the deck tech, everybody. Woo! This deck is fuego. Absolute fire, lit, whatever you kids are saying these days, it is it. Eli Cassis won the GP with a very similar list. I talked to him a little bit because he is a friend of mine. I heard that Pyromancer's Ascensions just aren't as good, and they just weren't as good as he thought they would be. So he suggested Young Pyromancers in the main. I added an extra Blood Moon, an extra Ancient Grudge to the board because I didn't want to lose against Tron, Amulet decks, KCI. Really hedged against that stuff. Made those small changes, and I'm in love. I'm in love with this deck. This is my new Modern deck. I am so hyped on it. I've been playing Jeskai Control before this, and I've been liking it, but I think this deck's the real deal. I'm going to put a lot more effort into making this deck even better. I think just this card in general is the best card in the deck. I think it's just good. I don't want to spoil the results of our matches for those of you who may like to watch the deck tech first before you watch the actual games, so I won't spoil how we did. But we played some good matches. They were close, but this deck has some power. We'll get to the list. We have 12 blue cantrips. These spell out to me basically your turn 1 plays. This is what you want to be doing. This, or like killing a creature if possible, but Faithless Looting is usually your turn 2 play. You're obviously not too disappointed if you have this in your hand and 2 Phoenixes, for instance, but it's very tough, close to impossible to actually get Phoenixes in play on turn 1. It involves double Gut Shot, which is, I mean, it's not impossible, but turn 2, it's quite easy because you have 4 Metamorphose that you start your turn with, then you cast Faithless Looting and any other spell, or 2 mana 1 cantrips, and then a Gut Shot to get a Phoenix back. It's very easy to do on turn 2, something that Arclight decks in the past haven't been able to do. And mostly the Arclight decks I'm talking about in the past have been standard. Those are the only ones I've been seeing. And this is just a significant upgrade and just adds so much more power. This card, I think just should be a modern card. I mean, standard, it's fine, but we're already seeing these blue-red decks not play it in standard anymore. Obviously, we got a bunch of stuff to shake up when it comes to the new set, and this could be coming right back, just like Arclight Phoenix's do, come new standard. But we'll get to the rest of the deck here. We have Faithless Looting, like I said, the best card in the deck. It's just busted. It's the blue Brainstorm. Gutshot is at a pretty good place right now. There's a lot of X1s in the form of Bant Spirits, Humans. It's just, it has a lot of applications in the metagame right now. We have 8 1-mana removal spells. I hate this card. I think it's bad, but there's really no alternatives. You could play like Volley or something like that, but Lightning Bolt's the best. One Is-It Charm I always thought is kind of random, but it serves its purpose and it's okay. We have 6 premium 2-drops where if you don't have the nut draw of being able to bring an Arclight Phoenix back on turn 2, Thing in the Ice, or I like to call it Thing in the Garbage, or Young Pyromancer is a completely fine 2-drop. Metamorphose is insane. It just enables so many things. It ups your spell count, gets Phoenixes back. And then we have our absolute finisher here of Crackling Drake. Just gets so huge in this deck. I mean, usually one connection with Crackling Drake and the game's over. And then, of course, the MVP that has to be dealt with. The thing I like about this deck, it reminds me a lot of Hollow One, in where graveyard interaction really does hurt the deck, but it doesn't kill it, because we still have so many other things to do. So it's not a one-dimensional deck like Dredge, so that the graveyard removal doesn't just absolutely shut down the deck. We'll get to the sideboard here. Ceremonious Rejections for KCI and Tron. Threads of Disloyalty for like the Mirror, Death Shadows. Surgical Extraction basically comes in every matchup where Gutshot is not good, because you always want to have like 2 Phyrexian mana spells in the deck to help out with Arclight Phoenix. And there's a fancy trick that you can do with Surgical Extraction. You can Surgical Extraction one of your own spells in your graveyard, search for all of them, and it's basically become immense to Crackling Drake. Hasn't come up for me yet, but that is a cool interaction that Surgical Extraction has to offer. Ancient Grudge for any matchup that you know is going to bring in Dampening Spheres. Something like Valakut, you know, Humans usually does. Also great against Hardened Scales. Good against KCI, shutting down artifacts. Has a lot of implications. Blood Moon, any big mana decks, Amulet, Valakut, Tron, any of those matchups can be kind of a bad matchup. In game 1, they're really rough. But having this end-all card is very good. Anger the Gods for any little creature decks. I'm still unsure about it against like Bant Spirits and Humans, but for sure stuff against like Dredge that we saw round 1. I think we brought this in every single match we played. And then EE, just another great spell. Pretty obvious when you need this, you know, little creatures, anything like that. This deck's the real deal, everybody. If you're going to be playing modern tournaments in the near future, you best be expecting to play against this deck more and more. It's very powerful, and it is going to, a lot of ringers tend to pick up this style of deck because it has a lot of wiggle room and a lot of play to it. I want to thank you so much for watching. Next week, we'll be back with a little bit more standard Dropping Bombs. And anybody who likes to see more content of me, I have began my streaming journey here. I'm streaming on Twitch. For anybody who wants to see some arena action, I play premium events on the weekends. So go check out CoreyB_MTG if you'd like to see me more than just once a week. I got that on there. I also have Corey's coaching. For anybody who would like some one-on-one time, you can private message me on Facebook or Twitter for details about that. I want to make you a better player. Let's do it together. I will see you all next week for another Droppin Bomb. See ya.